कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुं स्वस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May it be auspiciousness that we see, that we hear, that we do. May that auspiciousness govern everything, because that is He. May the Master in His varied manifestations be well and keep us well so that we can play our roles in the manner fit. Surrendered in totality to His will and grace. Om. So we are right now exploring the Sudha, the nectarian Gita, as Ishwarananda Giriji, a wonderful saint, he will say the Sudha has been created by Krishna to be drunk by Arjuna. But after that, how would it have reached us? Thank goodness for Vedavyasa. He not only documented the Vedas, but he gave the Gita to us. He wrote the Mahabharata, in which the Gita is there. So he says, Dvaipayanena Shastri Krita Sudha Gita. So he made this into a Shastra for us, so that all of us can revel in that nectar, and all of us can practice what Gita Charya has taught us. Because almost all the questions that we would ask as sadhakas, Arjuna asks. And all of us are here because of a starting point of Vishada. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. That's where the entire Gita starts. Because it is very important to recognize that there has to be a turning point towards becoming inward. To realize that this world of plus and minus, actually the pluses are not there at all. There is no plus, because every plus comes with a minus. That is the nature of the world. That is the nature of duality. It has to be like that. The pairs of opposites have to come together. That is the nature of the world. Ondranavan, uruvil irandanavan, when it becomes the irandu, when it becomes the second, then it has to have the opposites. And when we recognize that this is not getting us anywhere, and we get confused, we don't know what is the right path, then Gita Charya steps in. So we were exploring here the Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga in the 9th chapter. It is a secret that he shares with us. He says it is not to be known to everybody. That's very clear, because so few of us are there in the satsanga. So few of us are there in the path of mumukshutva itself. So few among the entire world. So it is unequaled blessing. It is only grace. And as I always say again and again and again, the 3 most difficult things to get this human birth: mumukshutva, wanting to transcend, and the association with great people. The association with great people can happen in any way. Physically, through books, through audios, through any which way. Somewhere the association happens. That happens only by divine grace, Adi Shankara says in his Viveka Chudamani. So in his Viveka Chudamani, he emphasizes this. It is not that it is not known. Can anything happen but for grace? But then this is something that is going to take us beyond every limit. Every single limit that, a limit and a limitation that we impose on ourselves. So it is going to help us move across. And when it helps us move across, who is the one who makes that happen? Bhagavan. So in the Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga, he talks about himself as the greatest of all, as the Atman of all, which he will continue to talk about. He started that right in the beginning. He never ceases to emphasize it. In the Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga, he says this is a secret that you must know. And he says, remember, whatever tapas you do, you will reach that, the end of that tapas. So, if you are going to do the tapas to attain the Deva Padavi, you will reach there. If you do tapas, okay, forget all Deva Padavi, not even in this world. If you do the tapas to become a great artist or to become a great administrator, to become anything, you will reach the end of that tapas. So, yanti deva vratan devan, pitrunyanti pitruvrataha, bhutani yanti bhutejyaha, yanti madhyajinopi mam. So, if you want to do, if you want to become him or you want to merge into him, then what is it that you should do? You should do tapas to attain that. So he says, in the end, this is, we are revising what happened in the end of the 9th chapter. Manmanabhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. What does Gita Acharya say here? Manmanabhava, be mentally connected to me. Madbhakto, be my devotee. Madhyaji, give me your offerings. Mam namaskuru, prostrate to me. He's here, the Paramatma. He's telling you, do all this. Mame vaishyasi, you will reach me. Yuktvaeva, being joined with me. Atmanam matparayanaha, because you are always singing my glory, feeling my glory, being my glory. You will have to merge into me. So in the next chapter, as he moves into the 10th chapter, he continues this trend of talking about himself as the head of this universe. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattas sarvam pravartate. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattas sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam. So if you understand that I am the Prabhu of all, aham sarvasya prabhavaha, I am the master of all. See, the thing is, I am the master of all, he's saying very clearly. Okay. So, he's the master of masters. This is something which we have to think about, because we have a difficulty in reporting. If we have to report to one being, we all report to somebody, or they're the head of family. If not head of anything, at least we report to our Manas Sakshi. So there is the Paramatma. And he is the Lord of the Atman. So aham sarvasya prabhavaha. So what will happen if you are reporting to two masters? This I always ask. If you're reporting to two masters, what will happen? Especially if the two masters have conflicting instructions to give. Can be very simple actually, even in a household, even in a regular grihastha situation. Supposing there is a maid or a person who is working, and the head of that is the gentleman tells something to her, and the opposite is told by the lady of the house. What will she follow? And similarly, let us say if I get into the car and Kameshwar gets into the car, both of us are sitting in the car, and we tell the driver, I tell the driver, go to one place, and he tells the driver, go to the other. Where will he drive? Where will he go? What will he do? Where will he turn the steering? He won't know what to do. So he can only report to one master. But what do? We try to report to the ego master and the God master. How is it possible? It is not possible at all, especially opposites. In fact, the ego master is Ravana and the master Paramatma is Rama. Will they ever give the same instruction? We will not. It is not possible. So, we have to understand that he is the supreme master. We will dedicate everything to him. He will take care of all the kuti masters underneath. So if there is any conflict anywhere, don't worry. Go to the supreme master. Master will take care. He will tell everybody. Please instruct him directly. I mean, we can just leave it to him. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. Matta sarvam pravartate. And from me only, everything evolves. From me only, everything evolves. So beautiful. See, when we sit in dhyana and we see that the space of the Chidakasha within, and we recognize that it is the light of the self that lights the light of the mind, which is again its own projection. And then this entire world comes into being. Nothing apart from him. Everything is he. Matta sarvam pravartate. Everything has its source only in the Atman, only in Krishna, only in the Paramatma. See, this aham sarvasya prabhavaha, I was just thinking, see, for us to understand, here it is not the manifestation as Krishna also that he talks about. He talks about the essence of Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha is not, as Krishna, he may not be the Lord of all. I mean, in the sense that he, in fact, even in Dwaraka, it was his father or grandfather, somebody other than him, who was his senior or was the king of Dwaraka. He didn't assume lordship in a typical manner there also. And even in the Yuddha, in Mahabharata Yuddha, he doesn't take on the Senapati's role. He doesn't take on larger roles. But he is the only force. I'm talking about just role play. In role play, he may do anything. He takes on the role of a charioteer. No wonder that Duryodhana does not want that. Of course, he gives the first choice to Arjuna to decide whether it should be he without arms on one side, or it should be his entire army on the other side. Arjuna knows he is the Paramatma because Arjuna is an extension of him only. And so he chooses Krishna. But Duryodhana is happy, very happy that this unarmed fellow is going to be one Sarathi. Doesn't matter, I've got the whole army. So in role play, he may not typically be the master, but he is the master. He controls everything. So it is the essence of Krishna, it's the essence of the Paramatma that controls everything. As Krishna himself also, he may control, but sometimes he may decide not to. He may allow somebody else to control, because that is his essence, which he is passing on, which he is allowing to move through somebody else. Who's the somebody else? There's no somebody else. That's also him only, So it is matta sarvam pravartate. So Bhagavan, when he was asked, who are you in essence? Who are you in essence? So he writes this verse. Ariyadi itara jeevargal aha varija guhayil arivai rami paramattuman Arunachala Ramana. Do not think of this Arunachala Ramana. Of course, that is literally his signature, Arunachala Ramanan. Even in Aksharamana Malai, in the last verse, he says, Malai Alithu Arunachala Ramana yen Malai anindu Arul Arunachala. So it's almost like Arunachala Ramanan, he says, as is almost like a signature. This was an observation which Akka had made, and I felt it's very apt because it is true. Because here too, he says, Ariyadi itarajeevargal ahavarija guhayil arivai rami paramattuman Arunachala Ramanan. So understand this Arunachala Ramanan not to be this 6-foot personality, human form. No. Hari Adi Itara Jeevargal. Hari, starting from Hari. Here, this is the same thing, same Tattva. It is the Krishna Tattva. It is the Hari Tattva that is greater than Hari. In Adimudi Kana Jyoti, in the unending, beautiful, beginningless, endless light, it is the Shiva Tattva that takes the form of the Adimudi Kana Jyoti. It is not Rudra, it is not Shambhu. Because, in fact, Adi Shankara in his Anatma Shri Vigarhanam, being a beautiful composition, what does he say? He says, Dhatur lokas sadhitova tatakim, Vishnur loko vikshitova tatakim, Shambhor lokas shasitova tatakim, Yena swatmana eva sakshat krito abhut. What does this verse mean? It means Dhatuhu Lokaha Sadhitaha. This is Dhatu. Dhata is Brahma. Brahma Lokam Sadhitaha. We have achieved. So what? Tatakim. Dhatur Loka Sadhitova Tatakim. What are you going to do with it after that? Once that period is over, that term is over, what else? What will happen again? Will again become start A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, again Z. Dhatur Lokha Sadhitova Tatakim. What is the use of having achieved even Brahma's Loka? Vishnur Lokaha Vikshitova Tatakim. What is the use of seeing Vaikunta? Just imagine. This is coming from pure jnana, ultimate jnana. It's coming. Because we cannot limit the Paramatma Tattva. We cannot limit that to any being, any manifest being. Highest also. We cannot limit it. Because he cannot be restricted to one manifestation. As Ishwaranandagiri says, as I was talking to you about him, as he says, forget restricting him to one manifestation. He cannot even be restricted to one Tattva. These were his words. Even that rasa of that Tattva becomes he. Dhatur loka sadhito va tatakim, Vishnur loko vikshito va tatakim. And then comes the greatest punchline. Shambhor loka shasito va tatakim. Shambhu as Shiva. Here, you must understand that when we talk about Paramatma, it is not any of these manifestations. It is the essence of these manifestations. Shambhor lokaha shasito va tatakim. Shasana means ruling. Even if you rule Shambhu's loka, Shiva lokatte ni Shivana ni andalum prayojanam illai. Tatakim. As Shiva, if you rule the Shiva loka also, what is the use? He's given all this Upadesha to us, imagine. Because we get lost in these chota fellows itself. In these chota fellows, when we are getting lost, even the highest he is saying, big, very big, biggest. Shambhor loka shasana. As Shiva, even if you rule, even if one rules the Shiva loka as Shiva, what is the use? Because what is really of use is only Atma Sakshatkara. Jnana alone is of use. Because that alone will not allow you to take any further manifestations at all. No coming and going, taking on. Oh, it's fine. If you can take on any number, once the Atma Sakshatkara is there, you can take on any. If Shambhu is ruling along with Atma Sakshatkara, then he is not Shambhu. He is the essence of Shambhu ruling as Shambhu. So here it is the essence of Krishna that is talking to us. So when Bhagavan says, Ariyadi itara jeevargal ahavarija guhayil, Arivai Rami Paramattuman Arunachara Ramanan, what is he saying? He's saying, starting from Hari, as the manifestation Hari, itara jeevargal, and all the rest of the manifestations thereafter, ahavarija guhayil, in the cave of the heart lotus, in the innermost portion of the heart lotus, Arivai, understand, Ramitiripavan, that is, who is enjoying, reveling, and is just resplendently reveling, Paramatman, that is Arunachara Ramana. அதுதான் அருணாச்சல ரமணன்.